I'm Katherine Grace Bond, and I started TeenWrite in 2003. I've been working with teenage writers for a really long time at that point, several years, and I wanted to come up with a game that would help them learn how to plot. Some kind of hands-on thing. I like making up games. So I came up with this thing with cards and the hero's journey and dressing up in costumes and getting mysterious objects wrapped in cloth, and we went off to this mansion and spent the day there doing this game. And I kind of thought it would just be a one-shot thing. We'd have a lot of fun and then that would kind of be it. But we really liked doing it. I liked doing it. I was a character in this thing, and it was just a lot of fun. So we kept it going, and so we've been doing this for 8 years now at various locations, and it's become a good thing. Why should people come to TeenWrite? God, because we're just really nice. I mean, I love these kids. It just totally makes me happy to be with them. And what I see with, what I love to see is the way that the teen writers welcome in newcomers. And there's something about being in character, being able to come and sort of turn into somebody else for a while that even the shyest people, it seems to put them at ease. Maybe at first there are a few jitters, but you're coming as an extraterrestrial or a bank robber or I think we've got a Viking out there, so a berserker or something with a big hammer. And they're since you're being somebody else, it seems okay to get a little bit crazy, and so people just feel welcomed here. And it's also fun to just write the stories, because they do this game and then they sit down and write the stories. After each scene that they do, they write a little bit, and then we get to the end and we're all reading the stories, and so you're in somebody else's story, you're in everybody else's story, and they're in yours, and it's kind of a fun community building thing, but it's just all the way around kind of a blast. Okay. We're all just, we're sort of at ease with being a little odd sometimes, and TeenWrite just runs the gamut. There are people who are really super outgoing, and there are people who come and are really shy and reserved at first, and then sometimes people tell me that before they came to TeenWrite they didn't have a whole lot of friends, and in some ways that really surprises me because they're really cool and they're, acting with all the others, and but that there's something about being in this environment that builds community and builds confidence. So for a kid that is at school and is finding himself kind of alone, and I think we've all been there. I had friends, but I still remember feeling kind of isolated and alone during periods at school, and having my friends get mad at me and shut me out, and that was no fun. And so it's a place that you can come and be appreciated and be safe and be embraced. And I think that my hope is that when our teen writers go back to school after the weekend is over or after the summer TeenWrite is over, that they just feel a little bit more comfortable in their skin. And when you feel that way and you walk down the hall of your school, things are just different, because you're different. So. Okay, fun stuff that's happened at TeenWrite. Lots of fun stuff happens at TeenWrite. I think that the most fun is when everybody is in character. It goes so much better. It goes better when I get into character. Oh my gosh. Okay, so my favorite parts of TeenWrite are when everyone is really getting into character, and we kind of had a little bit of time together and people are sort of loosened up, and you just sort of, you are that Martian, you are that European count, you are the pirate, whatever it is that you are. And people are just rolling with it. That's one of my favorite things. I remember calling one of the staff to let them know that lunch was ready. Come back up to the main house because lunch is ready. And he goes, and I'm hearing all the shouting in the background, and he goes, "We're down at the lake fighting the Asgard." So, that's just sort of the reality of TeenWrite. So that's a lot of fun. There was one that I came into character, and I was I think I got more deeply into my character than any other TeenWrite. This was many years ago. It was about '06 or something. And I was a character who'd never known evil. You know, she came from this planet where there was no evil, and she sort of ends up in, you know, on Earth or in this dimension, and so she's just baffled, you know, because we had some criminals there, and we had a dragon priestess, and we had somebody that had murdered a bunch of people, and and she didn't understand deception. She didn't understand sarcasm. And as this character, I found that I was having conversations with other characters that became really very philosophical on a pretty deep level. And we were sort of exploring the nature of good and evil and, you know, hope and despair. And it was really very moving. And I felt like I was getting to a place with some of the other, you know, teenagers. Well, I guess I wasn't a teenager, but I felt like one. Where we were connecting on a really deep level and having a conversation about something that, as our real selves, we may not have touched on. We may have kind of backed up from stuff that was that deep, and I felt like we were all changing, and that was really cool. I also got to fly away on the back of a dragon. I died and flew away on the back of a dragon. That was pretty fun. We went and called the dragons. And I'm really excited about what's in store for TeenWrite Future. We just had a gigantic brainstorming session up at the house, and a bunch of teen writers came, and I just asked them, what do you want to do next? I told them what my vision is, which is to kind of somehow take it out into the world. I would like to offer some training to educators and youth workers to start their own TeenWrites, and with groups of kids that they're already working with, or maybe gather some groups of kids in another part of the state or another part of the country. I've got a friend that staffed our TeenWrite that's going to start something in Texas, and that really excites me. One of the things that I think is cool about that is that there are a lot of people who are working with youth who have specialized skills that I don't have. Maybe they work with deaf youth, maybe they work with kids who have been abused, maybe they work with kids who've been incarcerated or something. And I don't have specialized training in those things, but there are people who do. And if I can offer them this tool of TeenWrite to take to the people that they serve, I think that would be really a worthwhile thing. I would feel good about that. But I'm also excited about what the kids have come up with. So beyond just me training other adults to do this, they want to go out. They want to go into the hospitals and do some little role-playing things with kids and writing activities with kids. You know, they want to go out to maybe the homeless shelters, or, you know, the library, or some place where there would be people that they could do some outreach to, and take some of this to them. And that came completely from the kids. That wasn't my idea. I mean, shame on me. I should have really been thinking more about them as ambassadors, but. So that is what we're looking at the future, is going out with adult leaders, forming their own TeenWrites, and then for the kids to go out and kind of take it to the streets. So, yeah, you should just come to TeenWrite, I think, or send people to TeenWrite. Send us young people we can corrupt. No, that's not really what I'm thinking. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I'm supposed to say wrap-up things, and I'm not really coming up with anything very articulate. But, but I have a book coming out. I have a book coming out next spring, May 2012, and it's called Finding Eden. So, I'm supposed to talk louder. Okay, so I have this book, and it's coming out in May 2012, and it's called Finding Eden. And so I'm getting to do all the stuff I love to do. I get to write for teenagers, and I get to teach teenagers, and I get to hang out with teenagers, and I get to not exactly be a teenager. I wouldn't really want to do that. That would, yeah, not again. I don't want to do that again. But but it's fun, and it keeps me young, and yeah, you should come hang out with us. Read my book.
I like it. The moral of the story, read my book.